What panels are you looking forward to at CoinSummit?
Actually, the one I thought would be most interesting is Mark Andreessen, just sharing his views and why he's so interested in Bitcoin as a platform.
What was the most memorable thing he said to you?
Wow. I think just actually putting things in context. Bitcoin being in sort of in the same stage as the internet was in 1993. So Mark has obviously experienced the growth of the internet in the various stages. So he has this very interesting perspective, kind of seeing how this is going to play out. And then I think the kind of breadth of different opportunities that are possible with Bitcoin that people are not even executing on yet.
And one thing about Bitcoin that's very compelling, what you're doing with Coins.ph, is offering banking services to developing countries and those who are underbanked or unbanked. Can you just explain a little bit about what Coins.ph is and your operations in the Philippines?
Sure. So I think a bunch of the, actually a couple of the speakers have already commented on the fact that payments in the US is already a solved problem, right? There's not that much friction, but when you look at emerging markets, there's a lot more friction around financial services. So if you look at Southeast Asia, for example, there are 620 million people in Southeast Asia. Only 95% of them have access to payment cards. Very few have access to banking. What our company does is actually uses Bitcoin to provide banking and financial services to those people. So the first product we launched is an online payment service. It allows anyone without a credit card to be able to purchase from e-commerce sites. So we've partnered up with two of the largest e-commerce sites in the Philippines. They're daily deal sites, so they allow customers to actually buy from a selection of 10,000 merchants in the Philippines using Bitcoin. And they can purchase Bitcoin through our network over the counter from pretty much any major bank in the country and a variety of other over-the-counter services.
So you're using Bitcoin to bring these financial services to the majority of the population who doesn't have access to a bank. And how is that going to change the standard of living for those utilizing Bitcoin in Philippines?
Right, so some things that we take for granted here in the US, right? So if we want to purchase something on Amazon, we just pull out our credit card. That's not an option for 95 out of 100 people in the Philippines. They just cannot do it. They have to get on a public transportation, travel for an hour, get to a bank, stand line for an hour, pay the next day. That's very, very painful. So we help them overcome that gap. Now, these same people, their earning capacity is low, so they are not actually able to open up bank accounts because the bank cannot make sufficient income on their deposits. So again, things that we take for granted, like having a savings account, a checking account, being able to store value is not possible for them. Using Bitcoin, because of the decentralized nature of Bitcoin, we can bring the cost of that down. We can provide them with wallets basically for free, and these people can now have access to all those services.
And other than the Philippines, what other areas are you guys looking at to bring this technology and this service to?
Geographical or? Yeah, so we're actually, our payment network already reaches to all of Southeast Asia, so we provide settlement in local currency in a variety of different countries. And we're looking at expanding the other services into Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, probably the next steps. So.